So again, the reason why you need to know about these different types of clouds, so that you know what the weather is going to be. Like, that's the big thing. Of course, it's important for you to know for the test. I mean, Penelope said that's, I want you to know for the test. But moving way beyond the test, it's important that you kind of have an idea of what clouds are and what kind of weather they bring. Three main types of clouds: cumulus, stratus, and cirrus. Those will obviously be on the test, along with cumulonimbus, possibly fog. Some of the others that we look at today, I may not even record them because they're fun and you might use them on your project, but they're not stuff that I'm going to test you on over and over and over. So that's just something to think about. Clouds are named by the way they look, where they are in the atmosphere, what type of weather they bring. Most of these have like Greek and Latin roots attached to them, which is very important. I'm not going to make you memorize those either. I know it says it on the vocabulary, but we're not going to dig that deep anymore. They've shortened stuff up for us, right? I used to have all of third quarter and half of fourth quarter to teach weather. Now I have third quarter to teach weather. So we'll see how things go. We'll watch this video after we teach the lesson. Number one, first cloud you need to write down in your notebook is cumulus. Cumulus clouds. Look at the picture. Have you seen those clouds before outside? Have you ever laid on your back and pretended that they are different shapes? I mean, that's the fun thing to do with cumulus clouds. Cumulus clouds are big, puffy, they look like cotton balls, right? Cotton candy, I could say big, giant, like cotton candy, absolutely. Here are your notes for the cumulus cloud at the top while I go get that phone. All right, back to this. Cumulus clouds, white, puffy, they look like cotton balls. When I see cumulus clouds, Thomas, I know that the weather outside is going to be fair and sunny. It's going to be fair and sunny. Ava has a softball game Saturday. She gets up, she looks out the window, she sees cumulus clouds. Guess what? Game on. It's going to be a good day of baseball. Hopefully the sun hides behind those clouds every now and then so you don't stay hot all day. But cumulus clouds, they bring fair and sunny weather. Doesn't matter. All right, cumulus clouds. We've covered that. Not watching that. Not watching that now. Second cloud of the three main clouds that we're going to learn about are stratus clouds. Go ahead and get that written down in your notebook. Stratus clouds. You do not have to know that stratus comes from the Latin word meaning to spread out. They are like a blanket. Penelope, they do cover the entire sky. Sometimes stratus clouds bring light rain and drizzle. Sometimes the rain's a little heavier. Sometimes it's just a cloudy day with stratus clouds. I actually kind of like it at the beach when there's like the whole cloud, the sky is covered, because I'm not getting sunburned. It's not 150 degrees on the beach. Stratus clouds. You can. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Screencast-O-Matic and the pairing of Nearpod. It's definitely a glitch, but the notes are right here for stratus cloud. They blanket the sky. I'm going to change the usually. They can bring light drizzle and rain. They can just mean a super cloudy day. And some of us have said that we actually kind of like that at the beach. It's definitely not as hot. It's kind of more enjoyable. You can stay out there way longer. Yes, you can still get sunburned, but not nearly as bad as when it's like a high pressure system and no clouds at all. Those days are brutal at the beach. Stratus clouds. They blanket the sky, Mackenzie. They cover the whole sky. They can bring light drizzle and rain. Absolutely. If it's cold enough, if the temperature is low enough, that could be light to heavy snow, right? If it depends. Unfortunately, it sounds like the weather guy said that we're in a drier part of the year at this point, so not to expect any snow as we head out throughout the year. All right, moving on from stratus clouds to cirrus clouds. Cirrus clouds. Cirrus clouds look like wisps of hair or a horse's tail. I can see that, right? I see that. These are really cool. They're actually made of ice crystals. They're not drops of water like some of the clouds. They form a little higher in the atmosphere. Cirrus clouds. I will make a cloud in a bottle this week, yes. Cirrus clouds form very high. They mean that the weather's fair, but Elijah, when I see cirrus clouds, I know the weather's going to be changing. I wouldn't be shocked if we see more and more cirrus clouds as Wednesday and Thursday and Friday go by, because we know this weekend the weather's going to change. Here is cirrus clouds right here. Go ahead and get that written down. All right, closing the whiteboard for now. All right, there are going to be clouds with prefixes and suffixes, Luke, that we talk about. You're going to notice I'm going to skip through some of these kind of quickly because we've either A, already taken notes on them, or B, I don't need you to know everything about them unless you decide to put them on your project. Then you will have a class code and you can look them up on your own. Number one, cirrus cloud. We've studied this, right? High, thin, wispy cloud made of ice crystals. It means that a change of weather is coming, but fair weather today. Cirrostratus. That's like a blending of cirrus and stratus clouds. Those cirrus clouds kind of blanket the sky, right? More like a sheet, very thin sheet. All right, cirrostratus. Again, they blanket the sky. Cirrocumulus. These are cumulus clouds that form a little higher in the sky, like teeny tiny little puffs of cotton balls, right? Fair weather happens with these. Altocumulus. When I see these types of clouds, Trent, I typically know that there's a storm probably on the way at some point. And it says a thunderstorm can be predicted if you see altocumulus clouds. Altostratus clouds. Those are kind of higher. Stratus clouds are not as low. You can have some storms coming in, longer periods of rain and snow. Stratus clouds, we've studied that, right? They blanket the sky. They can mean rain. I like to call them nimbostratus clouds when it rains and stratus clouds when it doesn't. But they kind of interchange those words for you. Here's that nimbostratus cloud. It just added the prefix nimbo. Nimbo and nimbus means rain. If you put the word nimbo at the front of, or nimbus at the end of it, it's going to rain. Nimbostratus clouds mean that it's going to rain. And there it is in your notebooks. Go ahead and get that right. So we've covered cumulus clouds, the big white puffy clouds that mean fair weather. We've covered stratus clouds that can blanket the sky. Now for me, Ava, you'll hear me using stratus clouds as just a dark gray day, and nimbostratus clouds is when it rains a lot. They interchange that on the test sometimes, though. They'll say it's raining, and they want you to say stratus. That's fine. Cirrus clouds, those big, high, thin, wispy things that look like hair. They're made of ice crystals. They mean fair weather today, but a change is coming. Because they form that high in the atmosphere. Stratocumulus, we don't need to cover. This one is huge. Put a star beside it. Cumulonimbus. It's obviously a cumulus cloud, but I put that nimbus on there. What did I say nimbo and nimbus meant? Rain. This is a storm cloud, a thunderstorm cloud. Cumulonimbus. I'm going to pull the notes up. They're right here. Cumulonimbus clouds are thunderstorm clouds, lightning, heavy rain, wind, possible tornadoes. Like, cumulonimbus clouds are very serious. And when I said you need to be able to recognize the different types of clouds, this is one you definitely need to be able to recognize. Alicia grows up and she's running a little league baseball tournament, right? She doesn't learn her clouds, and so she decides, that's just a big dark cloud. We'll have fun today. And she sends the little kids out there with metal bats. In the middle of a thunderstorm, what could possibly happen? They all have spiky hair on Monday. And we're going to round out the last couple of notes here. Moving on from cumulonimbus to contrails. We saw this today during recess. And yes, contrails are actually considered a cloud. Now, what happens is the jet's exhaust is pushing out really hot air with water vapor in it. What happens to water vapor when it hits a very cold upper layer of the atmosphere? Does it come back down? What does hot water vapor do when it hits? It condenses. A contrail is a condensation trail, shortened to contrail. And we know that condensation is what, class? Cloud formation. Condensation is cloud formation. So again, contrails are clouds that they're not related to weather, but they do consider them a cloud. Fog. Fog is honestly, it's just a low-lying stratus cloud that touches the earth. Fog is a low-lying stratus. It's what says a cousin of the stratus cloud. It's a stratus cloud that touches the earth. Does it blanket the ground when it's foggy? Yes. Then it's a stratus cloud. I will leave these notes up. Obviously, if you're watching it on YouTube, you can pause this as much as you want to. But our class just ended. These guys are getting in line. Like, subscribe, notification bell.